Hi, Scott Lackman, 4510 TV. Very excited this morning. We're at the Caboolture Hub in the centre of Caboolture. Wyatt Roy, Federal Minister and also Minister for Innovation, and Mia Garlick representing Facebook this morning, Policies for Australia. We're here at Boost Your Business thanks to Facebook. So guys, good morning.
G'day mate, thanks for having us here.
Hi, how are you?
Now, very quick interview. People are getting settled. We're in for a 2-hour session this morning and Facebook's going to tell all our local businesses in the region how we can boost our business. Mia, firstly you, what a great concept.
Yeah, well, we often get questions from small business owners because it's really easy to set up a Facebook page, often easier than a website, but then sometimes it's a bit trickier to make sure that that's a success. So we like to hold this so that people can get some inside tips and really boost their business on Facebook.
Wyatt Roy, Assistant Minister for Innovation, what does this mean for our Caboolture region?
Mate, it is so exciting and thank you so much to Facebook for coming up and doing this. You know, our world is changing with technology disruption in a really quick way. I mean, it's a way that we couldn't imagine only a few short years ago, and the way that people consume information is changing as well. And as we know, people don't pick up the newspaper as much as they used to. They don't find their information on the nightly news so much, and for businesses, that's changing the way that we do business. Facebook is such a critical part of how we need to engage with people, how you need to grow your business, and to have the team here from Facebook to come up, show us the best practice, show us how we can do this, I think it'll be a real boost for local businesses, and I'm really excited about today.
Excellent, thanks Wyatt. And for me, one key thing in business that's critical at the moment is building relationships. Surely through the use of Facebook and social interaction, it's a great way to build those relationships offline as well.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we see a lot of businesses now they're using their posting strategy to just constantly stay in front of their customers, and then also using the message feature so that they can then interact with customers one-on-one and then drive them in store and make sales.
For anyone looking to build their business, boost their business with Facebook, get in touch with Wyatt Roy's office or come along. Hopefully we're having more of these in the future, Wyatt.
If it's a bit of a success, we'll keep going. Facebook is so friendly, they've agreed to come back up and we'll do many of these into the future if it works. So thanks so much, mate.
All right, thank you.
Okay, good morning everybody. Thank you so much for getting up nice and early on this beautiful Friday morning. I am an Australian who lives in Singapore for the last 8 years, so I cannot thank you enough for turning on such a beautiful Australian morning for me to be here for this event. I'm also really excited to see we're actually oversubscribed. We're adding in extra chairs as we go along. So this morning, a few things that I wanted to remind you of. We're going to have a fantastic agenda. We're starting off with our Policy Director, Mia Garlick, who's going to give you a quick overview of Facebook and the reach in Australia. And then we are delighted to have our very special guest, the Honourable Wyatt Roy, who has hosted us here today. Without him, we wouldn't be having the event. And then Evan Hick will be speaking to you to give you some more tips and tricks on how you can best use Facebook. And finally, we have a really exciting small business panel. So you can hear from some people just like you, get some tips and tricks from them on how they've had success. So with that, I'm not going to hold you up anymore. I'm going to hand over to the wonderful Mia Garlick to kick us off.
Thanks, Claire. So I just want to do a little bit of a scene set to kind of explain why we're here and why we thought this would be a useful opportunity to talk about Facebook and businesses here in Caboolture. And the reason that we sort of thought this was a useful thing to do is that we all can see this every day, that the world is changing. Increasingly, people are turning to their phones to find news and information. And so we thought that it would be helpful to try to work with you guys to make sure that you're getting your information about your business on people's screens so that they are learning about what you can offer them. And I also, when people are turning to their phones, increasingly, if you do a non-privacy invasive slight peek on people's phones, you'll see that they're often on Facebook. And so we also find it really helpful to start trying to help people think about, like, what is Facebook? I think a lot of us think, oh, I know about social media because I read about it in the paper, et cetera, but taking a step back and looking at the really big picture can sometimes help you in terms of your strategies when you're trying to connect and engage with your customers. So this is my favourite map or picture to explain what Facebook is. is. It's a map of all the friendship connections between people all around the world on Facebook that was designed by one of our interns. And I think when you step back and literally look at that big picture, you can see that Facebook is a real-time communications platform that lets people connect around the world at scale. So people, I wake up in the morning and I can see what my friends in New Zealand have been doing, or overseas. I can also like all of my local business pages and get sort of news and information about what's happening around me according to my preferences. And the reach in Australia is really big. Like, a lot of Australians are active on Facebook, and that's why it's really important for you guys to make sure that you're on those people's phones. So we've got 14 million Australians who are actively doing something on Facebook each month. We've got 11 million who are checking in each day. And there's 10 million who are doing so on a mobile device. And so that's really important for you because in addition to the world changing, of course, it's all being driven by the mobile. And so you guys need to be thinking about, what is my information, what does my pitch to the customer look like on this very small screen as they're scrolling through, and making sure that it's good content that's going to, we call it thumb-stopping content, that's going to make them pause their thumb and stop to click and look on yours. And because people have the internet now in their pocket, they're checking in on sites like ours regularly throughout the day. So it does mean that you can connect with the audience regularly throughout the day. But it is important to also think about where your audience is when they're checking in. So often, you might come in early in the morning and post something up really early because you're like, okay, I just want to get that social media post done. But often people are checking in later in the day because they're busy doing all of their things first thing in the morning as well. And so we see that people are checking in regularly throughout the day, but there's a spike around 3 o'clock when everyone sort of needs that mental health tea break. And then the busiest time on the site is 9 o'clock at night. So these are just some of the things that you need to be thinking about in terms of changing how your business strategy works for trying to connect with your customers. And often I tell people about the really big numbers, and people say to me, Mia, that's very, very nice, but people want to go to Facebook to hang out with their friends. They don't want to hear from me. But when we look each year, at the end of the year, what the most talked about topics were on Facebook in Australia, this is the list from last year. We see that it kind of maps consistently. I think we have a fan over in the corner there. So it kind of maps to the big issues that broke during the day, during that year. So, we see obviously Robin Williams was massive last year when he passed away. Lots of people were posting up their favourite parts of his movie. Politics also ranks very highly in the conversations in Australia. Last year we had 2 Malaysian airline tragedies. The Ice Bucket Challenge was really massive on Facebook. Game of Thrones, everyone's dirty little secret that they love to watch. Also key issues like the Ebola virus and conflict in Gaza. South City Rabbitohs, obviously an epic victory. Definite fan. The World Cup was massive on Facebook. It was actually one of the biggest events in the history of Facebook in terms of the number of people who were talking about it. And obviously the Melbourne Cup, the race that stops a nation. But it's not just news and information. McKinsey has done studies just looking at what the impact of real-time information flow is for businesses. And because it's McKinsey, they came up with a really, really, really big number. So 900 billion to 13 trillion in value that can be added to the global economy just from that constant feedback loop that you can get through social technology. And we also commissioned a study with Deloitte trying to look at the economic impact that Facebook can have in Australia. There are sort of 3 buckets. So the largest one is the marketing effect, so that ability to really quickly and easily and cheaply get your message out to customers. Platform effects for developers who can add in Facebook profiles like Spotify, and then also connectivity. So in a lot of countries, particularly in Asia, the desire to kind of connect on sites like Facebook is driving people to purchase more phones and more data packages. And so for Australia, Deloitte found that Facebook could add $6 billion and 52,000 jobs. And that's part of why we're here today, to try to make sure that some of that value is coming here to this part of the country, because it is so gorgeous. So with all of that, I'm now going to hand over to my Honourable Wyatt Roy, just to talk a little bit more about why he thought this would be helpful here. Thank you.
Thank you so much to all the Facebook team for coming out to have sort of the head honchos from Facebook here in our region to really try and boost our businesses is incredibly exciting. And can we just give all the team that made this possible a massive round of applause? I'm hugely biased, but I am very proud of the fact that we have a Prime Minister that says this is the most exciting time in human history, and this is the most exciting time to be an Australian. And the reason Malcolm says that is because we live in a rapidly changing world. Globalisation is shrinking our globe at a rate that we couldn't imagine only a few short years ago. Technology disruption is changing our businesses, is changing our traditional industries at a rate, again, that we couldn't imagine only a few short years ago. And Facebook is a big part of that story. The way we consume information as customers, as citizens, has radically changed in the last few years and will continue to change at a very fast rate. And the Prime Minister says, rather than be afraid of this change, rather than fear what the future offers, if we embrace that change, if we make that change our friend, then we can see increasing prosperity for our country, for our communities, for our businesses, for our society. And that's sort of what today is all about. It's about how as a region, how as business owners, we can take hold of the opportunity that Facebook presents to grow our prosperity, to reach more people in new ways, to have a serious engagement with people and ultimately, hopefully, lift your businesses and, from my perspective, hopefully even employ more locals. For me, the transformative power of Facebook is absolutely incredible. If it was a human being, it's only 12 years old, it would just be about to go into high school, and it has changed the face of the planet. We only need to have a look at the horrible events that we saw in Paris or the Melbourne Cup recently to see the power this platform has in connecting people in both the best and the worst of times, the way that it brings us together as a community. And as the world changes, we know that people don't pick up a newspaper the same way they used to, although they still do, Peter. They love your publication. It's very good. Please say nice things about me. People don't turn on the nightly news as much as people once used to, and I think that I know with my mates who are not interested in politics at all, but they're all out there working hard in their chosen fields. When we sit down, I sat down with them last week as well, and I said, "When was the last time you watched TV?" And none of us could remember. Like none of us could actually remember because we have Netflix and everything else. So it shows you how rapidly this change is taking place. But Facebook presents an opportunity to really turn that into our friend, as I was saying, and to offer a new way for us to communicate with each other, and a new way to put our fantastic ideas, our products, our services in front of literally millions of people on a regular basis. So I just wanted to say a massive thank you again to Facebook. Thank you all of you for coming out. I think this is a great turnout. It is the start of a very exciting discussion. Facebook is very keen to continue the conversation with you after this event. I'm very keen to continue this, and hopefully if this works, this is something that we can take to a much wider level. So thanks so much and enjoy the morning.
I would like to introduce now Mr. Evan Higg, and he is our Head of Small Business for Australia, and he is going to give you a quick overview and some tips and tricks about how you can boost your business.
Thanks. Not sure if I need to stand up here, I'm probably tall enough, but give it a go. It's amazing to be here again in sunny Queensland. We don't get the opportunity to come up here often enough, so I appreciate the warm welcome that we've had and the opportunity to speak today as well. So I have been at Facebook for about 2 years now. Prior to that, I've probably got about 5 years digital experience, and from what I've seen is it is evolving so quickly it's very hard to keep up with. If there's one platform to really be involved in as it continues to evolve is Facebook, and we're in a really good position today. I'm going to take you through some tips and tricks, some ideas around how you can leverage it at a local scale as well as a global scale, so that you can get the most out of it for your business or organisation or personally as well. So we've kind of spoken today about how quickly it is evolving. I think this is really interesting to look at how technology has changed over time. This is probably a little bit outdated as well. It's September 2014, but you can kind of assume that these trends have even continued to evolve even quicker. Mobile kind of kicked off 2007 when Apple's iPhone launched. That was kind of the catalyst for people going online, using the apps, using the mobile websites a lot more than what they have previously. And I know personally as well, I find it hard to put down my phone. It's recently been turned off with travelling and so forth, but it's a very weird experience now to put that down and away. And I don't think I've got that relationship with any other piece of technology or media that I've ever been working with. So when we think about this as well, we think about Facebook as a platform, but it's not the Facebook. The Facebook is personalized and individualized for every single person who uses the platform. You're all connected to different people, you're interested in different things, you are connected to different pages or webs or sites. This makes it a unique experience for you from a messaging perspective, and when you're thinking about it from a business perspective and how you want to engage people, you can actually leverage it down into buckets of people, into different niches, which is what matters to each individual person. It's also about where people discover things. So I travel quite a bit. I was in Singapore yesterday, I'm going to be in New Zealand tomorrow. It is something where you keep on top of local updates. Something which resonated with me, which I found interesting, was a passing for a Jonah Lomu. So some of you may or may not be aware of who this person is, but he was quite a big rugby player in New Zealand, and the first time we kind of saw this was actually through my news feed, and I was just like, wow, this is a tragedy, but it's also amazing that this technology is actually keeping us up to date with what's going on around the world, even if you are away from home or away from traditional media. And as we said earlier on, it's every day, it's everywhere, it does not stop. So this is an opportunity for you to be a part of this community as well. How big or small your organisations are, it's all about you being relevant in your space. So there's 4 things I was hoping to cover off today, starting with your page. But before I get started, I'd just like to get a bit of a hand poll on the room. So who in this room has a current Facebook profile? Cool. So a couple of children don't, which is good. That's most of the room. So outside of that, for the businesses that you work with or organisations that you're a part of, how many people have or are aware that there's a business page or organisation page on Facebook as well? Okay, we're kind of talking about 90%, so that's pretty good. And the third question I got from this is, from that perspective, how many people know that their organisation or business page has advertised on Facebook? So boosting a post or some of our more advanced solutions. Okay, it's kind of 60%. So that's good. So there's a big opportunity out there. So I'm hoping you take away some of these points and see the ease of how you can actually reach out to a relevant audience as well. 2 major differences. On the left-hand side, you've got a profile page. This is your personal page, which you've all got set up. Big differences with this is you can reach out to people and connect with them, and you can't advertise through a personal page. From a business page or organisation page, you can't actually reach out to people. They need to connect with you through either liking or following, and you can advertise and you can reach out through that forum. Also, interestingly, as soon as you set up a page, it's from a profile perspective, you automatically get it's almost like a responsive design element where you already have a profile across all different screens. And it is something to consider when you are creating your pages, that you are identifying that these profiles will actually be across the different screens. So have a play, understand what the images look like. They may or may not work on a smaller screen, or they may not work on a bigger screen as well. So you can actually test and learn and play with this a bit as well. A key point I'd like to really highlight is the About section on your pages. It's really critical that if you're creating a page, that you're actually making it easy to discover, so that people can find your address, your hours of operation, your phone, your email, your website. If you input this into it, it will actually start to flow through into your pages as people are seeing your ads, or as people are starting to click on your pages as well. A question I get quite regularly is, great, we've got this page, but we don't know what to say. Is that a common kind of theme? Yep. So what I'd challenge or put out there is that, what would you say to somebody if they came into your store? You'd have a conversation with them, you'd create a story, you would engage with them on lots of different levels. If you've got a retail store, it might not just be, hey, we've got a sale. It's actually, let's build some relationship with them first. Let's build some rapport. Let's understand what we actually stand for and what we want them to understand what our brand stands for, and then be consistent with that theme. So there's a few different ways that we can actually engage with people through our page. First is called what we call a page post. So it's like a linking of text. So quite basic, but you can quickly write some text. You can post it up there. You're good to go. Second kind of evolution of this has been into what we call a photo post, and this is obviously a lot more engaging. You can see it kind of pops out. It stands quite firm, and you can probably stop a little bit easier when you're going through your news feed. The third third option is video. So we spoke before about like making content relevant, and we call it the 3-second audition as well. So somebody's scrolling through the newsfeed, what's it going to take somebody to stop on your particular brand or your page and actually engage with it, like it, follow it, or want to follow it as well. Ben & Jerry's have done a great example here. There's some other really good examples in the room as well from Culture Kings and some other small to medium businesses that we've worked with. Personal example I'd like to share is I work with a community toy library in New Zealand, and so I'm not sure if they have them in Australia, but it's where you can hire out toys for $1 to $2 per fortnight, and in this it enables families who may not be able to afford to buy a toy worth say $100, they can actually get it for quite a reasonable price. It's not a stickler for their children to miss out on that experience. So what we did is I worked with them to create some content that was relevant from a video perspective, and their initial response is we don't have budget, we don't have creative, we don't have production costs, we don't have all of these other barriers to actually doing this, and they're all very real, and I completely understand that as well. So we got a bit creative, and the example we did was, has everyone heard of hyperlapse technology? So it's an app which you can run let's say a 10-minute video, and it will speed it up. So it's like a speeded up version. So it's literally, we got a phone, we got an app which we downloaded, we put this on a mounted area, and then because it was a community toy library, they had a bouncy castle. So we put the bouncy castle down, we tagged it into the ground, we pumped it up, we had some children run onto it, play with it, they ran out of there, we put it down, and we created a 30-second video out of this. Cost was nothing. The time investment was about maybe an hour, and the content was amazing. So people really resonated with it. We hit 10% of the local population for the area that we were trying to achieve. Over 10,000 video views for a minimal cost, and really got the brand awareness out there as well. So you can do some funky things at a low cost. You just need to be a little bit creative, make sure the content is relevant to your particular messaging and market. So it starts with your page, now it's about creating that good content. And we look at this here as well. So it's about what's going to stand out. We've kind of touched on this already, but we've got examples here, avocados, right? They're boring. But the way that they've actually positioned it here in the pictures, it actually really does pop out at you, and it does actually stand there as well. So when we're thinking about content, what's going to stop your audience from stopping when they're scrolling through the newsfeed to actually look at your content? Captivating visuals, and we've got a few examples here around some really good examples of being relevant to their brand. So Country Road, Foundry & Co., they're quite eye-catching. They stop you, you engage in them, you understand what they're doing. They're real examples of a guy tailoring up some different designs. It's not distracting. They're just really quite good. And again, we've got two different examples here. Gelato Messina is the one that resonates with me. Has anyone had it before, out of interest? The most amazing ice cream ever. It's, I think they've won awards in Australia. I think they might have even won Gelato Messina awards globally. They create a new flavour every single week. This one here is a mango cheesecake. I've had nacho ones, which was amazing. You're just kind of go, what is this? But it is seriously amazing. They're creating visuals here based on their ice creams. For anyone who's connected to it or is a fan of their page, you'll see these come through on a weekly basis. You will be captivated. It's an emotional pull to actually get you to go into store to try these new, amazing, weird, wonderful flavours. But again, simple to create, it's relevant to their business, and it creates an emotional pull for people who are connected to them. A few more examples here around, more around the messages as well. So we've got the pictures, and again, they're captivating, but then how do you make it relevant to the specific audience that you've got? So it can be about the tone, it can be about the way that the ad is actually written. Personally, I think short and sweet. If you can't get message across shortly, maybe reconsider how we're actually framing it up. And then just matching it so it's consistent again with the image, with your brand, and what you're trying to position and market. Then we move into having a specific objective for your business. And these are just 3 examples. There's lots more that you can have. But are you trying to achieve people to come into your store? Is it driving foot traffic? So be clear about this. Is it generating leads? We've got a lead objective now where we can pre-populate Facebook information into a lead form if somebody clicks on it, and that's sent to you as a follow-up for your sales team to follow up on. Is it about brand awareness? You've got a new brand. We can actually go out there, leverage a pretty big audience to hit them with, hey, we're here, we're exciting, come see us. Tell a story. And again, lots of examples around this. I think these are 3 relevant ones. Regulars know best. Could you get a regular customer or client to either give a written proposal for why you're amazing or why they particularly want to be associated with your brand? Even better, could you get them to do a video, a quick 30-second, would you mind doing this? We can put this on our site. Atmosphere, is it something unique to your business or your organization that you want to actually promote? Promote it. People need to know about this. An unusual item, very similar to the gelato messina, but is it something from a restaurant perspective that's new that you want to be promoting for the week? Know who your ideal target audience is. So is it male, female? You may change the images, you may change the messaging based on who you're actually wanting to target. So it's not just one message, let's put it out there, let's hope this is actually going to work. Let's actually give real targeted insights. So that's creating content. The next is really promoting your business, and it is easy. So you've got your page. On the left-hand side, you've got the promote page button. This is the easiest option, and there are a few ways to get to this as well, but it's probably the most common. And it pops up with a few options here where you have this is promoting your page, but it's like a boosted post. So you've clicked on it, you've got an image there, you select the messaging you want to have, you select the age range, the male-female demographics, the targeting of the location you want to do, and you select the budget. Is it 25, is it 5, is it 100? And then from there you can actually click promote page. Within 30 minutes your ad should be live and serving, in theory. And then targeting your ads as well. So we overlay a lot of these, the Facebook ads with a lot of data. Facebook has a lot of data which we use to ensure that we're serving the right ads to the right people at the right time. To do that, we look at intent and interest. For me, it would be something around rugby or something associated with that. Geographic-wise, is it somebody in Brisbane or is it somebody globally that we're looking to go after? Life cycle, is it married parent? For my community toy library, I was targeting parents who had children between 3 and kind of 10. Is it education? Are you looking to do a postgraduate degree or something like this? And demographic, is a certain demographic that we're looking to do. These are easily targeting options that we've got on our platform to make sure you're delivering a right message to your specific target audience. So that's the kind of cool stuff. Now we get into the really cool stuff. So this is a data geek in me coming out, but the insights section is probably the most powerful thing that I believe in that Facebook offers you. It's a free piece of insight to you on who is connected to your page. And I know there's a lot of consultancy firms out there, apologies if there's anybody in the room, but who build their business around this. Who are my customers? Who should I be going after? What kind of ages are they? What are the demographics? We give this to you free. It's in your insights section. There are a couple of ways to get to it, but again, you come into here, you click on what you like to see, and I'm going to go into people because I think that's the most interesting one. It gives you a breakdown of different demographic age ranges, gives you a breakdown of who's connected to your page, and this is quite skewed. This one here is 99% female, 1% male, so clearly your messaging would be different than if it was skewed the other way. You can also see city there. You can see languages that they speak, countries that potentially of origin or where they're located. Some really relevant, rich information there that you can use in your advertising. Posting, we said, Mia posted earlier on around how people are using Facebook all throughout the day. You can actually break this down across your page as well with your posts, when people are resonating to it. And clearly in this one here, it is all through the day again. People are online, they are consuming content, and they are looking at pages. Really interesting as well, this is a quick breakdown of all the different posts that you've got, and it gives you a snapshot of how many people you've reached, how much, if you've paid for activity, what the paid versus the organic reach has looked like, what the engagement levels are like, who's shared it, who's liked it, who's whatever else as well. A quick kind of snapshot so you can compare activity. And even, I think this is really interesting, around pages to watch. So it's a case of if you've got some competitors or some people or world best practices that you'd like to follow, you can easily add pages to here as well. So you can have it in one specific spot when you're looking at insights into your business and comparing obviously across the industry as well. And really importantly as well, we've got an app. Now, has anybody downloaded the Facebook app, the business app? Business app? Okay, so there's a few people. So this is, so Facebook has a mantra of work-life integration, and we really believe in it. And it is a case of You shouldn't just be working 24/7, and the app allows you to be out on the go, living your life, doing what you need to do, but if something pops up that you need to message in market, you can quickly and easily spend a couple of minutes to post something, or stop a post, or stop some advertising, or boost it with some more money, or whatever you need to do on the go versus being chained to your desk. This is powerful, it's improving as well, and it's something which I'd recommend for any business owner out there that they have it live and continue to use it as well. It does have, sorry I clicked too quickly, it does also have insights, so there's an insights element to it, so you can see what's performing, what's not performing, or if there's an event that you want to message across as well, we can quickly move to that. And lastly, and not just to lastly, I think this is super important as well, we have an incredible amount of resources which are free and readily available for you to use right now. It's at facebook.com/business. There are success stories, there are incredible amounts of training material which we've bannered under Blueprint, which has bite-sized chunks of training material that you can easily download. It could be a video, it could be PDFs, it could be lots of other elements to break down how to use our platforms, how to best use them, from super beginner to super advanced as well. They're regularly being updated, and I'd really make sure that you're au fait with that site.
Evan, so this is my favourite section of the event, I have to say. So I grew up in the back of a small business. My father was a mechanic and they ran a convenience store, so I used to literally sit out the back between the boxes. So I have a lot of love for small business, and hearing directly from business I think really brings it to life. Some of the things you've heard, some of the free services that I wish my parents had when they had their small business, being able to set up a page, understanding the insights of who actually comes to their page. I think it's really cool that you can see who's online at what time, and all this is built in. The other thing I wanted to make sure that was really clear is that piece on the mobile, there's actually a page management app which is separate to logging into your normal Facebook. So it's a separate app that you download. And I just think my dad would have absolutely loved all those things. He's a kind of an 80-year-old geek, I would say. So with that, let me introduce our panellists who are sitting in the audience. We have Samantha Eyre, who is the founder and owner of Live Music Promotions. Starting with her love of music, Samantha has grown her business to represent brands, artists and music festivals right across the region. The success of her own Facebook page meant that she is now in hot demand to manage not only her bands but also their Facebook and online presence as well. Thanks, Samantha. And then I would also like to introduce Harry Carew, who is the marketing manager at Culture Kings, and also runs his own agency helping startups and established businesses get ahead in a busy social environment. Over the past 3.5 years, he's been working with companies to take advantage of social media, helping with brand awareness and sales from multi-million-dollar companies to small to medium businesses. So thank you very much, Harry. Let me give you guys both a microphone. Okay, I'm actually going to kick off. Harry has been kind enough to provide us with one of the videos that Culture Kings has posted on their page that was a bit of a brand video to give you an idea of the kind of thing that they do. So can we roll the video, please?
All I wanna do is take you downtown.
Culture Kings.
So it's very cool. But Harry has lots of experience in lots of different businesses. That was actually a video. So Culture Kings was born in Brisbane and has now spread. So that was a launch video that was done for when they moved across to Perth. So Harry, can you share a little bit about the business and how you started online and how the business has grown?
So basically when I started at Culture Kings, they were doing like a little bit of stuff with social media, more just focusing on like product, straight to people. When I came on, we sort of made a big switch about developing really good content that we can start personalising to sort of selected people that's really, really relevant. So what we picked out was like the more relevant we could make our content, and the more sort of in hand that we could give that to people, that's based on their interests, based on, you know, what they like doing, the more likely they are to come over and have a look. So I think with anything on social media, like whether you're you know, a tradesman, if you're in real estate, anything really, the more relevant you can make your content to your customer, the better you'll be.
Great. Now, Samantha, I had the pleasure of meeting Samantha on the phone last night, and she told me a very interesting story about what her motivation was to start her business. So do you want to share a bit about how you started your business and how it's grown?
My ex-husband told me I couldn't, so I did. Yeah, so basically I'm a massive lover of music, and I was a hairdresser for about 16 years. Separated, told that I was only ever going to be an awesome hairdresser, blah, blah, blah. So I started promoting and doing just street team work for artists, but then it wasn't reaching as far as I wanted it to. So I started up street team pages on like pages, growing them. And then as I started to get my my role going and everything happening, I started having people seeing what I was doing and creating an image of myself and how much I believed in music, even though I couldn't sing. So artists started asking me to manage their pages. They've now, at this stage, I think I've got 12 artists that I manage. I'm their Facebook social media manager, and I don't think I told you last night as well. I'm also 2 Education Queensland pages that have contacted me as well. So I do Burpengary State School and Beachmere State School. I've created a closed group for them where parents sign it. It's completely strict so that nobody, you know, the children aren't posting on it. It's all parents. They sign a little form that the principals and I have arranged as well, so that it's, so I've got like the difference. I've got the like pages, the open pages, and then I've got the closed groups as well that are really strict and secure, and hoping to sign up more schools as that goes along as well. So.
And did you have any formal training when you started this?
Not one bit, just motivation. So
amazing,
nothing.
amazing.
And learning and working with everybody.
Cool.
Yeah.
So Harry, let me ask you a little bit about your marketing. So when you're using Facebook, when you're online, what are your marketing goals? What are the objectives?
So it really gets back to that relevance. Like if with 14 million active users on Facebook every day, like how can I create content and how can I create products that I can send directly to people who are, 1, interested, 2, would probably have friends that would be interested in that as well, and how can we make that appealing so they're just going to come to the website and not just to a website. Like I think you'll find a lot of old websites are purely there for information. New websites in 2015, it's literally a funnel to get them to follow breadcrumbs to that end goal. If you can use data like what Facebook provides you with their insights, like Google Analytics and everything, you can just tailor the whole process to be 100% around them. Like, for instance, a client I'm doing some work for at the moment, he's got a car charger that is literally the size of an iPhone and can start a diesel patrol off one crank from a dead battery. We developed just a video off an iPhone, so we literally shot it raw. We went to Fiverr, we paid $5. We got an intro and an outro for that video. I think I spent like $50 on an ad for that video, and we got like $4,000 back in sales. So like it's you know, we targeted four-wheel drive enthusiasts. We targeted some of the big magazines that they'd be doing, and we actually shot a video of them out, you know, literally stuck in a paddock in a bog. And we jump-started their car with this sort of thing. Like the amount of engagement we got off that, because it's like I could show someone who, like a watch, for instance, who has nothing to do with watches, they don't like watches, and if I'm pushing ads out to them, how is that relevant to them? They're not going to click on it. You're wasting money pretty much. The more relevant you can get your content, the better you'll be.
Yeah, I think that's a really great point. I mean, there was some really big numbers at the beginning of this session, 14 million active users, and it can sound a little bit overwhelming. Yeah. But what you're saying is it's not about how many people are coming through, but it's about being able to find the right people. Yeah,
I think you'll find like a lot of agencies talk about sort of reach, like with 14 million people, like yeah, that's a lot of people, but my watch is only sort of going to appeal to only certain people in this room, and how do I find those people? Which is, I'm sure, probably be a problem, you know, a lot of people are facing, like, where are my people on Facebook? I think with the having videos and having really good blog content, like for a real estate agent like yourself, I would be putting out blogs like if I want to try and attract people to list their home with me, I would be putting out blogs like 5 of the best ways to get a better sale price on your house in Brisbane this Christmas. So obviously, if I push that out to the populace, only people who are interested in that are going to click on that, and I cookie them straight away and then start remarketing to them. So it's all about content.
Great. So Samantha, why don't you share a little bit about your marketing goals and how come you decided you were starting your business and you went straight online, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Well, there was a whole... When it comes to Facebook, and see, I can only really speak from what I do, and when it comes to music and the market that I produce, I don't, know too much about everything else. But basically, my thing was to bring people to music festivals, get people out to come to live music, to stop buying, obviously buy their CDs, but to go out and purchase CDs and support artists, and that's a whole another thing. So, what was the question?
About your marketing objectives.
Yes. So my whole thing is working together. I tag every event. I research. I use websites a lot. I don't ever very rarely contact my clients a lot. That as long as they have an up-to-date website, I get all their content from there. They give it all to me. I get their photos from there, their saying, their slogans, absolutely everything. But I drive it through their Facebook page. A lot of my clients, like I've got artists that are nurses full-time with a family, but their hobby is music. And so they employ me so that weekends they can still live their dream as well, because they know that all week I've brought all their content that they've got on their websites to people through Facebook, because people don't use websites as much because, they can interact more when it comes to Facebook. And I find that way I'm cutting out, I'm like the middle person for all the artists. And this weekend, for instance, I started a Facebook page about 2 months ago for Plantation Music Festival. They had 200 likes on the page, and I contacted them. I said, I need to do this. I don't even, you're not going to have people there. Last checked, I think it was about 1,300, but we didn't pay for any likes. I directed it all to the people in the country field with all my contacts. At the moment, he just said last week they've doubled the sales for Plantation Music Festival at Yatala. And it's pretty exciting considering I'm just a woman with 2 little children at home, just trying to make a difference.
An amazing woman with 2 little children at home, I think. Yeah. You mentioned something really interesting to me last night about how you have networked across other people that have similar businesses or complementary businesses, and how you actually look at cross-tagging and sharing contact. Do you want to share a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'm very big on... I work, so say if it's Plantation Music Festival, for instance, just because it's common. If you want to go, it's this weekend at Yatala. So basically what I do is I work with absolutely everyone. So there's about 12 artists on the bill. And so I contact all of them, I tag all of them, and I research their page. So I'll look at Viper Creek Band, for instance. They've just been in Nashville. So I'll just say, I'll take their photo from their Nashville page where they were and that they posted up. Viper Creek Band last week were in Nashville at Tootsie's, which has got something like 200,000 likes or whatever on their page. Tag that. But now they're coming to you at Plantation Festival, and here's the link here. And the biggest thing I've heard through the grapevine, through everyone that I work with, is that you've got to make it easy for people. You've got to give them links to touch, and if they don't know what Tootsie's is, then they can touch it and find out for themselves, and then want to go there and want to see these people because they were in Nashville last week and now they're at Yatala, of all places. But, and it just tends to really work. You've got to make it easy for people. If they can't touch something to get there, then they're not going to go searching. People are too busy to go searching. So cross-promote wherever, and yeah, that's what I've found has worked the best. Yeah,
that's really cool. I'm going to build on that. Just going back to you, Harry. Culture Kings obviously has a very strong brand and a particular look and feel about it. When you're thinking about your marketing, how do you balance between brand, which is important to build, but also obviously you want to make sales as well? So what's the balance between those 2 elements for a small business?
I think for a small business, having that Facebook page is a way for you to communicate with basically all of your followers and to try and bring new followers in. So I look at a Facebook page as it should be your story. It should be like it doesn't have to be day to day, it can be week to week, it can be fortnightly. It completely depends on you and how much time you want to put into it. So for the Facebook page, I would literally be telling people about, what's happening with the business from crazy photos around the office to for us, it's a lot of like celebrities in store, and really trying to just show people that you're not here just to push products on them. We're here to engage with them and keep them going and give them really good stuff. Like we're just starting to get into viral videos at the moment, so we're going to be starting to create a lot of those that are going on all of our Facebook pages.
And there you were saying you did one for someone else and you just did it on a phone.
Yeah, like it. I think when people think about marketing, they think, oh, we've got to have a big budget here. You really don't. Like I've worked with businesses that have spent $5 to get an intro and an outro on a video and literally shot it on their iPhone. And it's more of that raw feel. Like I think it depends on the business, but if you can start just getting content out there, like don't be afraid. Like it's only out there for the people. And I think one of the biggest things you've got to ask your question to yourself is, for my customers, what's the main 3 questions that when they walk in that I get asked? If those are very dominant in your field, then how can I get those questions out to the public and start serving those questions so they don't have to ask them, and I start bringing them to my website? That can be done on the page, that can be done with advertising, but the whole time, you're just branding them. It's like McDonald's. When you drive down the road and you see the big M, you automatically think McDonald's. Well, for a small business, if you can start getting people to your website and they're currently thinking about your name, you're giving them the answers to the questions they're asking, I guarantee you, when they're looking for your service, you're going to be the first person in their head.
One thing that I found that really works with me, though, is you can schedule your post. That, to me, your timings, you don't have to think, at 9 o'clock tonight, I have to be there to put up a post because this is the right time, and you don't have to freak out. My girls go to bed at night. I sit down, I've got my 12 artists that I've got to know that I've got for the week. I go and create all their posts, schedule them, work it all out, set it, and then sometimes, honestly, my work's done in about 3 hours, and that's my week's work. And then all I do is sit there and I monitor the posts. If people ask questions, I'll go to their website, get it, give the clients the answers. So sometimes my work week is a full week's wage done in 2 hours because I've scheduled my whole week work. So
so that goes back to, I think Evan mentioned there is a free section that has insights. So you can see when people that are like your page are actually online. And a lot of people don't realise that you don't have to post in real time. So if your people are online at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday, but you don't want to be online at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday, you can schedule that post. You can do it on Monday, on Tuesday, and say, this is the time that I'd like it to appear.
Sometimes I do 2 weeks in advance, and then I spend 2 weeks. I'm going to Fiji in February, so.
Clearly a success story. Okay, so Samantha, I'm going to throw to you now. Actually, I'm going to throw to both of you with this one. You guys work in what I would call pretty cool industries. I've got kind of a music promoter and I've got Culture Kings with celebrities in your office. We have a real variety of businesses here. So maybe Samantha, you first. What would be your top 3 things that you think any business could benefit from what you've learned?
Think before you post. Depending on your mood, I deal with people constantly, like people, they say, oh yeah, you just run Facebook, oh, you just do that, is that, that's easy. Not at 10 o'clock at night when you're out doing something and someone else is out having a few drinks and they thought that, that was a bad gig, I'm going to go tell everyone how bad you were. Think before you post, and so, and responding, because sometimes I've had to hold my breath. It makes you become a more calm person, I think, business person. Yeah, because you think, okay, they've had a bad day. How do I deal with that? And then sometimes I'll ring the artist and I'll say, that's your problem. I'm not dealing, like, what happened, I wasn't there. But definitely it makes you become a calmer person. It makes you think more. And because you're creating your own image, it actually makes you become a better person yourself, because I've got people calling me now. Yesterday I had another festival, Bellina Festival, and she said, what can you offer, and blah, blah, blah. And she's just like, I've heard people talking about you, and that the contacts, and you can, and then on top of that, it's a domino effect. Now artists are calling me to get on festivals, and I'm like, I don't do that. I'm not booking festivals well. So it makes you really believe, I don't know, how, just basically, you slow yourself down a bit. You don't make quick, rash judgments. You're calm. I
think you've both. Something I've heard from both of you is kind of this evolution, moving from when we all first moved online. It was it was like having a brochure sitting online. But in this new world of social media, it's a relationship that you have with your customers. It's back and forth. So you need to be thinking about how you manage that relationship, and it's as if you're interacting with them all face to face.
And you can't smile at them or do any of that kind of stuff. So it's not. You got to interact with them so that they think you're smiling. I used to work for Stefan for years, and he used to say that you got to smile with your voice, and you can't even do that when you're talking on the phone, because you're not talking to them. It's all typing. So you've got to give them that impression through words, and sometimes that's really hard.
I am a victim of too many emojis. Anyone who works with me, I'm always like, I'm really happy when I said this.
Yeah.
All right, Harry, are you feeling brave?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'm going to go volunteer from the audience. We're going to put Harry on the spot, the social media genius. Someone wants to put their hand up, throw out the kind of business they have, and let's see if Harry can brainstorm a couple of ideas of how you could use some of the free page insights and things on Facebook to promote your business. Who's feeling brave? Oh, there we go, over there. Look at this. What's your business?
Okay, I run a dance studio.
Mm-hmm.
It's a small country studio just up near Woodford. How can I make that bigger? How can I get to my target?
Okay.
Okay, what kind of dance do you do?
I teach all styles: ballet, tap, jazz, highland, contemporary, lyrical, so all theatrical styles.
Okay. Where's the furthest sort of people are driving from at the moment to?
Most of them are from the local schools.
Okay, so your demographic would be more of the younger sort of crowd?
Or the parents?
Exactly. So I have two studios, one in Delaney's Creek and one at Mount Next, so they're sort of 20 minutes apart.
Yep.
So I target the schools around those studios.
Okay.
So they're very close.
Okay, so for a rough age, between sort of like 13 to 16?
3.
Okay.
We go right through to adult.
So I guess we're looking at the parents.
Fantastic. Okay, yeah.
There's no 3-year-olds
cool.
with pages.
Cool. So what I would do for that one at the start, so you've got a Facebook page currently? You've got a website?
Yes.
Beautiful. So what you could start doing is I would actually start doing a little bit of content. So I would start doing some videos and really getting the imagery going. Are you doing that now?
We're about
to.
start putting some videos together here. So trying to do some testimonials.
Fantastic. Yeah, and what's the benefits that these kids get out of it?
Well, I suppose what I teach my children is to get fit, be healthy, also look at a career path if they want to become a dancer or a dance teacher, like a professional dancer.
Yeah.
They've got those two, or they can just do it purely for the love of it.
Okay, so there is some big benefits in there for the kids, and what about for the parents? Is there anything in it for them? Like, do they come and watch the kids? Do they sort of mingle while they're there and everything?
Well,
So the kids' parents, like when they do they just drop them off and they do the class and they come back and pick them up?
With my babies, like the 3 to 5 year olds, the parents can sit in and watch the class. I have an open door policy for those.
Fantastic.
But most of the kids from 6 and over, the parents drop off and then pick up.
Okay, so what I would do is I would start creating some blogs on your website about how this is benefiting the kids, right? Then what I would do is I would start swinging that around into Ads Manager, and I would actually target anyone in like a 50-kilometre radius around your business. And I would say I want to target anyone who is a parent with kids of the age between, or the age brackets that you're looking at. And what I would do is I would start putting out the content to the parents, because obviously you're not trying to sell it to the child, you're trying to sell it to the parents. So it's going to benefit them. Like if you're going to do a blog, tell them about how these kids are really starting to make a change. They're getting interactive, they're having fun, they're building friendships, it can progress on to other things. And I would actually start putting that out to the parents. That would be my first big thing that I would do. Because I know if I was a parent and I had a child I'm looking for them to start doing something, that would probably be a big plus for me. Okay. Yeah. So like, do you see how like those sort of things you can really start diving into the tactics with that? Again, like content's key. Like if you were to come along and just say, hey, I've got a dance studio, come and bring your kids, it might be, yes, you might pull out those people that are just like, they're the bulls. They'll just come out, yeah, I want my kid to do that, and you'll get them all day long. But for the general population, there's benefits that you're bringing them, and you've just got to show them that. Yeah.
Did you have something you wanted to add?
Just a little. There's a review section on the pages part. Every time I do something for someone, even if it's like me helping them or whatever, I'll say, oh, and they go, oh, how can I repay you? I'll just leave a little message on my thing to say, you know, what I did. I think I've got 117 people that I've just helped, just random little things, but they say how awesome you are and everything like that. So when someone goes to your page next time, they'll look at it, and personal reviews from other people make a huge difference. And you get a star rating, so out of 5 stars on there. So yeah, every time you do something, or even people that your brothers or sisters, they don't know who they are, get them to leave a little message on there to say how awesome you are, and then, you know, it's like it works. Yeah, not that that's all mine.
Yeah, go ahead.
Another thing which I think would really sell, and it's worked before with a tennis coach I've been doing a little bit of work for. How would you feel about doing some sort of free workshops? Just 1 or 2, where you could...
I'm very open to that, actually. I think because I usually do workshops during the January school holidays. Yep. So I could probably have a couple of free workshops in there, absolutely. I
would definitely recommend doing that. Concentrate on getting numbers there. And once they get there, just show them how much fun it is, and you're going to get sign-ups.
I'm glad you brought up the reviews. The thing about Facebook is really about connecting people. And because people are their authentic selves on Facebook, they have their own profile. When they write a review, it's connected to them as a person. And I think that's a really important thing when you look at the reviews and you ask people. People know that it's not from Fuzzy Girl 36, who could be anyone. You know, they know who these people are that are actually writing the reviews. So I think you guys have touched on some real... Let me try and summarise, I think. Getting your page and making sure you're really clear about what your brand is on your page. Thinking about being creative, even with your mobile phone, about videos and photos and these things you can do on the run, take a photo, post it. Using the insights to understand who are the people, so the free insights tool, who are the people that are coming to your page and when are they actually active on your page, and scheduling your posts so they match along with that. And really trying to get into the head of your customer, thinking about what are they doing, thinking about what you do when you're on Facebook as a person and bringing that across to your business. Any final thoughts from, Samantha, you want to go first?
No, I just think don't think you can't do it. That's all it comes down to. You know, it's all trial and error. If it doesn't work, there's the little arrow and then delete it. Yeah. And you don't have to, you know, but obviously, and think before you do it, because it's more powerful than what you can realise. So, but you can always delete a post. Yeah. You can always, you know, that didn't work, take it away. You know, but tagging is a major thing, and working with people. If you create an image for yourself and then work with them, you sort of get to the point where people are coming to you and you don't have to worry about that anymore. You know, I reckon it's been 2 years I started my page, and then because I've got contacts in the industry, so I get them to do their personal invites and recommend my page and do the personal invites. In 2.5 years, I've got 6,600 likes, and that's all from people helping me, because I just ask them. They do something, I'll say, well, would you mind just inviting people to my page? There's a personal invite section, so if you go to where it says invite friends, only invite my friends to this page. A lot of my friends have got, you know, 500 friends on their Facebook. You know, if I do something for them and do a post, I'll just say, can you go and invite your friends to my page? They don't have to, they won't automatically be invited. They do that, and then sometimes people will screenshot it to me and go, Sam, 100 of my friends have just liked your page. I'm like, awesome, that's all because I did one post for you, because, you know, you believed in me to do that post. So just work with people, don't be afraid.
Yeah. I'll pretty much second that. I think another really good thing is to get a schedule going, like every week. start of the week, I don't know if everyone has like morning meetings here on a Monday, but just say, like, you know, it can take about 20 minutes a week, and just work out what you need. You know, Monday we're gonna post an inspirational quote on our page. Wednesday we're gonna, you know, talk about what's happening during the week. Friday we're gonna do a recap of it, and just get, like, I'm sure like a lot of you didn't know how to drive a car before you started, but you figured it out. You know, you just got to get in there and give it a go.
Excellent. Well, I think we've got a few minutes. I'm going to steal one of your microphones and become a roving reporter.
Thank you. Probably one for Harry. From a commercial perspective, as a marketing manager, we talk about scheduling posts and setting that schedule for the week, and implementing what your plan and social media strategy is for Culture Kings. What maximum time do you allow yourself for social media interaction each week in your role?
For me personally, it's like 12 hours a day. But that's for like a multi-million-dollar brand. For small to medium businesses, I think, depending, again, it's what you're wanting to scale. So are you actually marketing, or are you just telling your story? I'm
an owner of a real estate office, 21 years in Caboolture, so we're telling a story and we're creating social engagement on Facebook for real estate. We try not to just post listings, because we have a website for that.
Yes.
So it's all about social interaction and sharing our story. On the other hand, we run a local online TV station. Just cracked over 1 million online views in 2 years.
Fantastic.
So with the TV channel, yes, there's a marketing element to it, but I'm now conscious commercially how much time I'm spending with social media, because obviously I've got a lot of hats that I wear.
Yes.
But is there a minimum or a maximum is probably what I'm trying to say, because I'm addicted to Facebook, so...
I would say for something like that, if you're looking to one, like, you are advertising on there, you know, sort of constantly, plus you also don't want to come as just salesy, I would probably spend a little bit more time on just the Facebook page around, and even starting up a Facebook group. So is it just the local area around here? Have you seen those like buy, swap and sell pages? I would actually start a real estate page, a real estate group for that as well, that hooks into your page, because if you can all of a sudden get everyone in this local area onto that group, you can just go straight in with your listings, that, and also telling, you know, success stories, you know, get some testimonials on there, get some videos on there. Time-wise, I would say maybe like an hour and a half every day.
Any other questions? I'm going to give one down the back here, and I believe you've been taking screenshots, so the back of your heads may be on the online TV station from this event today.
Hi. How would you make something go global? So if you weren't selling directly in your local area, but you wanted to, just with like language barriers and all that kind of stuff.
The great thing with Facebook is it is universal. So if you're looking to go global, like what's... I'm making you run around here, Claire, I'm sorry.
But I didn't get to do a jog this morning, so this will do it. My 10,000 steps.
Basically, I want people to vote, so I want questions to go out every day, and then people vote, yes, this happened to me, or no, it didn't. And it's kind of a feel-good site. So I really need as many people as I can getting into it, so I can say, this happened to 77,000 people today. So I really need like a global, and I need kind of, I think, a launch date, so everyone can vote on the same day, because if you have 10 people voting, it's not going to have that same impact.
Okay, that's an interesting one. So the website that you've got, is it open source? Like, are you like sort of able to change things around a lot and get blogs out and everything?
Yeah.
I would probably take advantage of definitely Instagram for you, just to get a message out there. Instagram advertising is open up now, and it's very visual. I think you could probably use a lot of infographics just to get the awareness, and like just having that button to click through to the website. And I haven't played around with it too much yet, but I think there is some really good things that are going to come from it. It's the new leads. Evan, what's it called? Lead ads, yeah. So you can actually like sort of put like a bit of a smart form or a questionnaire, and you can get them to fill it out.
Oh, what's that? Sorry, lead ads.
Lead ads, yeah. I'd say have a chat to Evan after that because I've only sort of mucked around with it a little bit, but definitely go and have a chat to him about it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I would say the advantage of Facebook is it is global.
Yeah.
So you're kind of
usually.
tapped in, so you can target people around the world. We've probably got time for one or two more questions. One down the back. Okay, I'm going to do three. There was one here, orange shirt and black shirt. Then we're done. Okay. Let my poor panelists relax and go have a coffee.
Is there any value, or would you cross-promote Facebook with eBay actions?
So you're selling on eBay now? Yeah. Have you got a store in eBay? Like you've actually set up your little eBay website? It makes it hard. Like we've got one for Culture Kings as well at the moment. Are you getting many clicks and sort of interest to that eBay page?
Yeah, there's always about 1,000 auctions or so running.
Okay.
It's worldwide.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't be looking for the sale. I'd be looking for the exposure on Facebook. Like what's the product? Gemstones. Okay. Yeah, I would just be looking for the exposure, just driving people to that page. Yeah, because you've got your URL which you can grab. I would literally just start sticking that. Even some. So I would put some blogs out definitely about like the different types targeted at people who are interested in gemstones and everything, which is really easy with the interests.
Okay, I'm gonna cut you off there unless you wanted to add anything to that one. Okay, last question because I'm conscious of time. No pressure. Last question for the day.
I just wanted to know what the difference between having a business page as opposed to what you spoke about, creating like a buy, swap, sell style site. What's the difference between the two?
Yeah. Do you want to handle the page?
Yeah, like Paige, I find what I tell a lot of my music fans to do is it's got to come in your news feed, but well, now I'm answering both questions. With the other buy, swap and sell, to me, a lot of the times if you join the group, you automatically get notifications. Yeah. But with a like page, it's kind of random if you don't post it or boost it or whatever for it to come in your news feed. But that's another thing I was going to say. There's another thing that I do with people that I follow is there's a little notification that you click that says get notifications. So of all the artists that I work for, I get the notification. So if anyone in your business or cross promo or whatever you want to do, you want to keep an eye on them, you go to that little get notifications that way, and you can keep an eye on your competition and all that as well.
It was one of the things Evan mentioned, I think, that in the free insight section there was other websites that you might be interested in watching, and you can sign up to them and get notifications for them as well. So that's on the free insights page.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Anything with them? All right. Can everyone give me a big round of applause for our two fantastic panellists? You've done a great job.
Here we are with one of our attendees this morning, boosting your business with Facebook. Andrea, Marketing Manager for Kangaroo Bus Lines. How are you going?
Yeah, good, thank you.
What did you think of this morning, what they delivered, Facebook, to our area and teaching us how to boost our business through online marketing? How do you think that's going to help with Kangaroo Bus Lines?
Oh, well, it's always a good opportunity to come along and find out, keep up to date with the new trends and everything in Facebook, especially with it growing, and just keep up ahead with marketing opportunities for Kangaroo and the local community.
That's it. And I know you guys do day tours, trips, everything. Surely through your Facebook page, we want the local community to follow you because that's where all the specials are.
Yes, most definitely. It's a great tool to reach out to the broader community. Obviously, we offer our transport services as well as our charter services and day tours, so it's a good opportunity to reach out to schools and the general public with keep up to date with what we're doing.
Excellent. Andrea, Kangaroo Bus Lines, we'll see you on Facebook.
Thank you.
Another fellow attendee this morning, Carrie from Skyreach Caboolture. How you going, Carrie?
I'm doing really well, thank you.
Mate, we've learned so much about Facebook and boosting our businesses locally. What did you think?
I think it was really good to have a big multinational company come out to somewhere like Caboolture and share the knowledge and help us to grow our companies and enterprises in this area, particularly with high unemployment. It's great to see them come out this far.
It is. They are a multinational company, Facebook, and brought some guests this morning, marketing manager from Culture Kings, also another local live music promoter. I think it was great. Wyatt Roy, Member of Parliament, but also Assistant Minister for Innovation, bringing this to our region. How good's that with Wyatt?
Well, I think it's fantastic, and having a young person in that sort of position in an area where we have a high youth unemployment, I think it's going to be fantastic. If we can bring some of that wealth of knowledge and some technology into here, get some stellar projects happening in the Caboolture area, it'd be fantastic for unemployment, I think. Definitely.
Carrie, you manage several Facebook pages through various businesses. Give me one key tip you learnt this morning.
I learnt something about the reviewing of pages and following them through and analysing the data and making it more useful. I mean, I've posted lots of things, but to actually get feedback and seeing what demographics are actually reading the material you're putting up and getting some information and feedback from it, learning how to use that feedback as a tool is what I learnt, which was really good.
Spot on.